Here we go, guys. Here we go. Al's Outdoors in the house. Jesse Lopez. He's in here. He's ready to go. I'm getting a notification that I'm live. How is that? 5 in the house. I see I already had 8 thumbs up. I like seeing that. Jamie's Little Farmstead coming in at 8 p.m. Jamie, if you want your channel showcased, you will be the showcase winner. Just give me a yes. Yes, I am live, Jesse. John Euler in the house. Hey, bud, how's it going? Amanda's in here. Tina Ladybug's over. How we doing? We're going to get started here. And there's of course, we want to start by shouting out some of these 1K people there. We got Laura the Explorer in. You out catfishing? You still trying to go after the quest of the big cat? Living MN, you did make it in. You're listening but unable to chat. That's fine. I just appreciate you coming in and listening. So John Euler, I did hear, was in a tournament. I did not get to see it, but Laura's saying that it was an awesome tournament. He was fun to watch. We got Georgia Trapping and Fishing in here. How we doing? Geo Bushcraft and Outdoors in the house. Okay, Laura, you're not out fishing today. It's actually been a pretty decent day here in Pennsylvania. It's pretty warm. I'm in the shed, so trying to get some airflow in here. I might start sweating here pretty soon. Got Levin in the house. Please hit that thumbs up on your way in. Share this out so we can help Jesse out. He actually, since this morning, when I first looked, it looks like he's already got 2 more supporters since then. That's awesome. Yeah, it's too warm, Al. I hear you. I'm trying to get ready for archery season, and it's like too hot. There's Glad Family Adventures coming in, saying hi. Just saying hi. Might have to watch when you're done. The time change is messing me up. I could imagine. It's probably fairly early over that way. So, real quick, guys. If you don't know already, Backwoods Barbarian has hit the 1K. So I'm sure it's thanks to everyone in here. Eric Burnside in the house, guys. Check out Eric Burnside. As you guys know, he does the Sunday Bible study, and JB is trying to get him to 1K. He's got a nice giveaway. You guys go check all that out. Make sure you're doing it the right way. Yes, as Laura says, Backwoods, boom. He hit the 1K. He's actually at 1.01, so that's good to see. So we're still pushing for Wildman 307 Outdoors. He's still at 974. As you guys know, he has been playing ball and not getting the videos out as much. I'm sure it's going to all change come this fall. If you haven't heard, they have made some changes over in his state, so he's actually going to get to do some big game hunting. So hopefully we'll get to see some good footage there. I just saw J Dubs go by there on my screen. How we doing, J Dubs? Yeah, smash that thumbs up. I appreciate it. We got Dark 30 Outdoors. He's another one, 712. We're trying to push for Dark 30. Guys, if you don't have them, pick them up. If you do have them, share them out. I'd really appreciate that. JV just got done sharing it out. He's trying to get people in here. That's awesome. We also got Geo Bushcraft and Outdoors sitting at 820. Alicia Barnett. I'm sorry. Did I say the first name right? I know I got the last one wrong. Greenwell Fishing in the house. All you fishing channels coming in to check out Jesse Lopez Outdoors. He's a fishing channel, guys. He does some other stuff, but you all know he loves his fishing, and I got to watch him do it live today with his son, doing a little bit of fishing. There's Tom Keltlich, Everything Outdoors. I got the package. JV has become a great friend through this whole YouTube experience, him and the Pond Predator Nation. That's awesome. Cranking and yanking in the house. First name was right. The last one was after I fixed it. Hey, sometimes I know when I mess up right on the spot. So Tina Ladybug's in here. We got John Euler, 16 people in the house. Guys, so real quick, big congratulations goes out to Backwoods Barbarian. Guys, get over to his channel. Give him a congratulations on one of his last videos. But you see down here, we're showcasing Jesse Lopez Outdoors. So don't have them, hook up with them. If you do have them, share them out. JV's watching and editing. Thank you for sharing this out. Yeah, boy, Troy Catfishing's in the house. So the other ones we want to get is Wildman 307, Geo Bushcraft and Outdoors, Dark 30 Outdoors, and I've added another one, Off the Hook Outdoors. Guys, he's from Pennsylvania. He's from the Pittsburgh area. He actually fishes a lake north of where I'm at, and sooner or later, him and I will get to hook up. But if you don't know, he makes his own baits, and I believe we might even talk about him a little bit too. I see Jesse's doing a bass tournament, and I believe he is one of the sponsors. So we'll check into that. But if you could, please, guys, check out those guys that I have scrolling down here on the bottom. If you already have them, share one of their videos out. Try to get them out in front of some of your subscribers that might not be theirs. The Buck Rub Restaurant, is it in Pittsburgh? That I do not know. We've got to get some of our Pittsburgh guys in here. Chip, wild about being outdoors. Thanks for stopping in. We're checking out Jesse Lopez Outdoors. We're going to be bringing him up here momentarily. Before we do that, guys, so I got that out of the way. These are the channels down below here that I would like to try to support and get some help out there. Laura says it is in Pittsburgh. Okay, there you go. It is in Pittsburgh. Laura knows. The field guide's in here saying hi to everybody. Real quick, guys, I want to share a just a short part of a video. If you guys don't have them, his name is Hunting Farmer. He has actually put a video out, and it's life speed bumps, and he needs our help. And what it was is, if you guys don't know, My Slice of Heaven. Their name is Joey and Chris, and right now Chris needs our prayers. And if you hadn't seen, I did share that video that he had put out because he actually was in contact with them. He has the permissions to talk about it stuff. So I want to just share a little bit of that video, guys, so you guys can see this before we get started, because I think the power of this community, the power of prayer, and just to be there for somebody, I think it was a great thing that the Hunting Farmer did. So real quick, guys, let me share this out. I want to share it. I'm going to try to pause it where the where he actually puts up their PO box, and that way, if you want to take a screenshot, so you got it, or you want to write it down real quick, that would be awesome. Just trying to share this out here, guys, and try to get some support and some prayers for Chris.
But then is expected to make a full recovery. But we can walk beside her, give her encouragement, and cheer her on. We're all cheering for you, Chris, and we know that you can make it through this and come out even stronger on the other side. So I'm pleading with you, my YouTube community, to help me encourage Chris. I've been thinking a lot and praying for Chris, and I know that many of you will pray for her. The power of prayer is incredible, and we can do that. But I was also thinking of what else we can do to physically encourage her, and I came up with the idea of sending her a card. I know in today's digital age, writing of a letter or writing on a card or a card of encouragement and sending it in the mail is a bit of a lost cause. But I think if we can pull together here and just fill her P.O. box with encouragement. Maybe it's a note from one of you that have walked through this already. Maybe you have a loved one that have walked through this cancer or different diseases. You surely can give an encouragement that maybe I can't. Maybe it's just a card or a note.
You're saying I'm getting a bad echo?
Get her through that day. It does not have to be anything long or elaborate. I just encourage you to send a card or send a note. Let's fill that box like.
All right, guys. So sorry about the echo. I'm wondering, for some reason, it's maybe the echo that's coming from inside of my shed here. I had to lower down the volume. I can barely hear it, but you guys, obviously, it helped with the echo. As you see, I have paused it here. I'm hoping you guys can hear me fine. No, I do not have a headset in. Unfortunately, my headset breaks in and out on myself. So right there is, guys, right there is the P.O. Box, My Slice of Heaven, P.O. Box 554. Get over there. Even check out even their channel, guys, and maybe leave a comment there as well. But if you so feel inclined, please maybe send just something to encourage Chris through this time. Sure, each and every one of us has had a loved one or somebody that has been battling cancer, and sometimes it's just that one word or that one card that you get that day that just makes your day. So I wanted to get that out, guys. First and foremost, I'm going to stop the screen here. John Euler, buddy, you don't have to do that. Here's a start to a headset. Yes, I appreciate that. I will try to get one of those. Problem right now is all my free money's been going towards some updates on my hunting. So, but John Euler, I will try to get a headset. Maybe next time you guys will see me with some earmuffs on. But I really appreciate that. If one of my mods would definitely put John Euler's link up there, I'd appreciate that. I see Small Waters in here. He went to Headwaters. Is that where you said you went? Headset live hunting. Yeah, I know Ramsey last year. He did some live hunting, and that's crazy. Yes, Tina Ladybug support team is very helpful. I just wanted to to put that out there. Check out Hunting Farmer if you guys want to watch that full video. He tells a little bit about what she's going through, what Joey's going through, of course, and a little bit about their channel and stuff like that. And then, of course, there was the address if you would like to send a card or send just encouraging word. That'd be awesome. So Mama caught another big one, 8.4. Jeez. Well, we're going to be talking a little bit about bass fishing, and we'll see how Jesse did. JV's done a few lives on. There's Ronnie Smith Jr. coming in. All right, I'm going to get this. I'm going to put the link up here for Jesse Lopez to come up on board here. While I'm waiting on him, I'm going to go over and read his about page, guys. It says, join on my solo adventures and on my adventure with my family. From the pursuit of a new personal best to tips and tricks to honest first impressions and reviews. With primarily targeting bass, I hope to bring a multitude of species to the channel. Remember, when the sun's out, line's out. Keep fishing whenever it takes. Of course, then he has his channel support. He has a PayPal. He has a merch line. If you guys want to check that out, it's jesselopezoutdoors.myspreadshop.com. And then, of course, you can get his email and stuff like that. So Jesse's ready to go. He's got his headsets on.
Yeah, sure do. I am doing just fine. Of course, you saw that a little bit earlier.
Yes, yes. Wow. So I am going to try to turn my volume up a little bit so I can hear. Let me know if I start getting a little bit of echo. I see Bo Daniels in the chat. It didn't show up in your feed. You're here now, though. That's great.
Yep.
One good thing, I go 8 o'clock. If I'm going to go live, it's going to be at 8 o'clock. So, I just read a little bit about your about page and stuff, and got to see you fishing with your 5-year-old son.
Yes, sir.
And kind of throws you back when my kids were younger, and the funs of teaching the youngsters how to fish, and realizing that sometimes it's not about the fishing; it's just about being out there and letting them enjoy it.
Oh yeah, he got started out being spoiled. So when he was 3 was the first time we took him fishing. We went over to my brother Roy's mom's house. It was about an hour and a half away. She's got private stock pond. Mm-hmm. So every cast was reeling in a little bluegill or bass. And then we would go over to Mr. Paul's, which is another private stock pond, and every cast would be a bluegill or bass. So, I mean, I think his personal best is like 3.5 now as far as bass go. So, I mean, he's reeled in some big ones, but the backyard pond here, we are just in the stocking phase, basically.
Right.
So it's a little rougher on him, and he hadn't learned that patience yet.
Right. I gotcha. Sometimes it's us that have to have the patience, right?
Oh, I'll tell you what, there's a couple times out there I just wanted to right across the back of the head.
Yeah. Dunlap 2423 is in the house. How are we doing this evening? Yeah, so that is one thing. If you go and get into Jesse's channel, you will find he is pond stalking. It is in one of his playlists. Yep. So you have 84 videos. You've actually had 22.9 thousand views since you've started. So, you're doing pretty well. Going in the right direction, anyways. And you have 9 playlists. Of course, one's this Centennial Bass Fishing Series.
Right.
You got live streams. You do live streams. So anybody that wants to catch your live streams. Now, are you like a random live stream go, or do you try to go certain times?
Typically on the weekends. It depends on when I get done with the honeydew list. Mm-hmm. And here lately, I've come to a crossroads to where I had to choose either to film and edit or go live. Right. Well, I found that the lives are actually more productive than the filming and editing at this point in time. So unfortunately, work changed my schedule. So because I used to have days off during the week, right, I would go out and film, edit, go live, do whatever. But typically on Sundays is when I'm going to go live with Ethan, and after that it's going to be pretty random. Like Friday night, I actually had a chance to get out and went live Friday, and it just depends on what happens.
Okay, so there you go, guys. Sunday he's going to go live with his son Ethan. They were live today. There's a few of you guys that were in here were there as well. So nice to see Frontier Survival in the house. Yeah. So then just kind of keep an eye out, and Jesse will go live when he's got the opportunity. Um, so another playlist was your outdoor adventures. You got a playlist, Big Blue Gill, review and impressions, educational, and then of course family, and then your pond stalking that we've talked about, and then of course bass catches. Now you got like 14 videos in there.
Well, bass is my specialty.
Bass is the specialty. Coffee Outdoors coming in. How you doing, bud?
Bass fishing is what I love to do. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it looks like you do a pretty good job at it too. So we all know I am not a bass fisherman. I don't even know if I'm really any kind of specialty fisherman. My fishing is just enjoy fishing. So I don't really target. I target whatever's biting, I guess. But it has been fun. As you guys know, I've done a few other channels. Really the one that really got me into it was Georgia Trapping and Fishing. Thinking about getting a bait caster, and watching that video you took and were teaching a friend of yours,
Tim,
to throw a bait caster, and then you of course gave him a bait caster there at the end, which was awesome. And quite to my surprise, he did very well.
Well, I'll be honest. I spoiled him on his first one. The first bait caster he used was a SLX DC 150, and if anybody doesn't know what that is, that's a Shimano reel. It has a DC chip in it, and what that chip does, it reads the spool speed 1,000 times a second. So that's way faster than any human can read it, and it controls your spool speed so you don't backlash nearly as much. I'm not gonna say you can't backlash, because you can.
Right.
But you don't do it nearly as much, as long as it's set up correctly. But he got spoiled on that.
I've actually done very well, and some of the tips that these guys are giving, how to throw a bait caster and stuff, and I found for me it was every time I change the lure weight and stuff like that is always to check that tension, because that's what gets me, I think, most of all. But I found that the heavier the bait, the easier I can control it.
Well, yeah. I mean, without a DC reel, which is what I gave him first, the heavier the bait, the easier it's going to be. The DC reel, I can take a weightless Senko. Do you know what a Senko is?
Yep.
I can take a weightless Senko and let it free spool, hit the water without my thumb hitting it, and it won't backlash. So there's a big advantage to having those DC reels. But now you go on like the one I gave him, you ain't going to do that.
Right.
And you know what's amazing?
Gio puts on here, of course, when he says I backlash all the time. So you guys have to go and watch Gio Bushcraft's, his last fishing trip that him and I went together. We were in a thunderstorm, and he actually showed it on there. I was surprised. He didn't edit it out, and I heard him whip that thing, and he's like, "Oh, that ain't good." And when he says backlash, I'm thinking to myself, if I ever get one that bad, I'm done.
Believe me, I've had a few in my life too, and I've only been using a bait caster since January.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, but the thing that most people don't know is a lot of people have their dads to teach them fishing and how to get into it. All my stuff was self-taught. My dad hated fishing. He'd take me out there when I was a kid, but that was it.
Anti's in the house. Yeah. So of course, I was YouTube taught, I guess.
Yeah.
Is the best way I can put it. And,
basically me too.
So I know. So I have down here, and I like to ask this. There's Crankin' Yang, and I am old school and cheap. I have a Black Max combo, and I love it. Same one box he has. You're right, Crankin' Yankin. That's my only one I've ever had, so I don't know any better. So there could be a Cadillac out there But it's the whole thing of just getting out there and ripping them things out there and hope praying that I don't get a backlash.
Hey, I've got a Boo Garcia Blue Max sitting in the garage right now that I just don't use anymore.
Yeah, he had to cut that one out. Yeah, it was a nasty one. But yeah, so far it's done well. It caught a couple bass out of Freezer Bound Outdoors pond. I haven't caught one on it since then. We went out. Like I said, I'll catch anything that's biting. So I was using some bruiser baits from Small Water Charters. I had that on my actual bait caster, and then on my spinning reel, I had the JV lures. I was running the Chunky Charlie and Jiggling JV, and the very first fish that I got a hit, it was a smallmouth that come up out of the water and then of course spit the hook on me, and then I had one other hit right in that same area, and then after that I caught a perch, and I caught what I call a white bass or like a striped bass. But yeah, so I was bass fishing, and but hey, we caught fish, right?
Hey, you know what? If it bites, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah, so Dark 30 said this Quantum Pulse. If I was going to buy a separate a real rod and reel combo, Dark 30 did a review on this Quantum Pulse.
Who makes that?
Good, cheap bait caster. You get it off of Amazon. Let me know if I'm correct on that one, Kyle. But I do believe that was the one that he actually. Because I was going to do that. I was going to buy a rod and reel, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to buy a cheap one. So the question is, I know John and Lindia, they use the spinning reels. They do their bass fishing. What do you have a preference? Do you have a go-to for certain baits that you fish?
It depends on the situation. If I'm skipping docks, I will use a spinning reel all day, skipping docks. But if I'm flipping, a bait caster allows me to stop that bait where I want it. It just depends on the situation. Typically, if I'm frog fishing, I'm going to use a bait caster with 50-pound braid. And then if I'm finesse fishing, I'm going to have a spinning reel, which is the one you saw today.
Right. Gotcha. Yep, Quantum is the brand. So that's kind of, of course, I've always used spinning reels and stuff. So I'm just trying to figure out, when I should be using the bait caster. When I'm trying to, do some big bass fishing, I guess I'll put it, because that's the only time I use it. But so if I'm going to be in like some big heavy vegetation and stuff like that, that heavy braided bait caster, maybe running like a frog or something like that.
Well, I mean, you can do it on a spinning reel. It's just, to me, it's easier to use a bait caster when I'm doing that. I mean, anything you can do on a bait caster, you can technically do on a spinning reel. I just find it easier to do on a bait caster.
Gotcha. Cranking and yanking saying spinning reels are better for the lighter lures.
Yes.
And see, that's where I'm kind of thinking that's where I am, as far as I'm better off using a spinning reel when it's lighter, because that's when I find that, and I haven't had, I'll be honest with you, I have not had a real bad bird's nest. Not one that I've had to work at it. I mean, it kind of rolls up a little bit and kind of gets a little puffy, but I've never had that one where I got to work at it, So I've been pretty lucky.
Yeah, JV's right. You can cast further with a bait caster too. He's absolutely 100% correct.
And now that's just for the simple fact that you can kind of put a little. I seem to be able to put a little more. I put a little more oomph behind it, but Is it just because of the gears or the way it comes off the spool?
The spool just comes undone so smoothly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of guys that can't put oomph behind a bait caster because of backlash.
Gotcha.
But like I said, I found that I could sit there and cast clean across from one end of the pond back here long ways with a bait cast where I can't do it with the spinning reel.
Right.
Yep,
So
Dark
it's
Till 30.
definitely. I've definitely been having some fun learning how to use it and stuff like that. So I probably might be overusing it now, but I was I just like trying to throw it without getting those birds' nests and stuff, and get to where maybe someday I can get out there and use it probably properly. I want to talk a little bit about some baits and stuff because I know. So trying to look. You had one video that I watched using the wacky
Mm-hmm.
is it the wacky rig,
Yes, sir.
and of course you did well. Catching some fish on that. Is there? I guess so. You got the wacky rig. I've heard of the Ned rig, drop shop. Of course, I'm going to have to YouTube those.
Everything you just listed is a finesse style of fishing, so I would use a spinning rod for it.
You would use a spinning rod for all that.
Everything you just listed, all three of those.
Gotcha. So, what about so what I've been throwing was I've been throwing a bruiser bait. They sent me I think it's a paddle tail.
Okay.
That's what it's called, and it's got like a weighted hook on it.
Okay, so you got a belly weighted hook with a paddle tail swim bait.
Yeah, I've been throwing that on my bait caster. Would I be better off with the spinning reel?
Again, it goes back to personal preference. What are you trying to throw into? I use those on bait casters all the time. My spinning gear typically is my light line setup too, so it'll be anywhere from 6 to 10 pounds. With something like that, I'm going to throw it on at probably 15 to 20, depending on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, it's all down to personal preference and getting out there and doing it and figuring out what you like.
Yeah, 6-pound bass is huge up this way.
It's huge here too.
So, yeah, I've been kind of throwing it like right into or like bringing it along like a weed edge,
Mm-hmm.
like or vegetation and stuff like that. And I just figured that paddle, I'd be able to come through that. It's weedless, so like if I could pop it up and then I drop it down in the holes and stuff like that. I did have a hit on it the other night. I was just standing on the shore, just kind of throwing out to the inside of a weed bed, and I did have one hit. Of course, it kind of surprised me, so of course I didn't even set the hook. But definitely some interesting things. So,
well, let me go back to what Geo Bushcraft just asked. He said he's been running 30 or 40-pound tests. Should he go to 50? Well, the question to ask yourself is, are there a lot of reeds, a lot of heavy vegetation in your area? Because if there are, the reason people use the higher pound braid is to be able to pull the fish out of that vegetation. That's the only reason it's necessary. And a lot of times you'll see a lot of Florida fishermen using nothing but 50-pound plus because they got so much grass and so much vegetation.
Right. Judith and Dan Davis in the house. I know I missed you guys coming in. Thanks for coming in. Al's saying we got 24 thumbs up. Please make sure we share it out. If we could get somebody to share Jesse's link out, I'd appreciate that as well. So I guess it's obvious that bass fishing is definitely what you love to do.
Right.
We talked a little bit about bass size. So what is your personal best?
Well, right now it's 3.875. which is small to some people, but I've learned that a big fish is objective to the person. So some of the guys up north, what I have is a monster, you know.
Right.
But you go down to Florida, it's a baby.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they call them dinks down there, I think.
Yeah.
As you see, John was saying that Lindia just went to Headwaters and she caught another 8.4 pound bass.
Oh, man, I would love to catch something like that.
That's over double.
Yep. I would love to catch something like that. Now, I have found places where I've seen 6 and 7 pounders being pulled out around here. I just haven't been able to hook into one yet.
Right. So if you guys could please share this out. Please share Jesse Lopez Outdoors. Now that that's gone a bit too. Big fish are relative to where you're fishing, you know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I do want to, before we get too far into this, we got 14 here in the house. This Centennial Bass Tournament that you got going on here. Now I haven't watched everything. I think it went through a live stream or something you did that you were talking.
Right.
Now, is this tournament going to be, you're going to hold it on, I believe, August 28th?
Yep, on my channel.
On your channel?
Yep.
Now, everyone will be fishing at their own spot. Is that what I'm gathering?
Yes.
Live. Yep.
And on StreamYard, like just like you and I.
Just like we're doing right now. And then what you're going to do is you got to have the catch on film, and then you got to
zero the scale out.
They'll weigh it, and then it'll get put in the book.
You have to zero it out on film on camera too. And then after that, I'll write it down so that way they can release the fish right away.
Yeah.
And it's the best, the top 5 weights for each fisherman. So what happens is once they get to that 5th fish, and they catch something that's bigger than their smallest, I'll call that number out and replace it with that one.
Nice. Now, it's from what? At 7 a.m. Central Time to 1 p.m. Central Time.
Right.
Okay. I'm actually going to, guys, I'm going to take a minute here, and I'm going to play, I believe it's like a trailer that he has for that. And I'm gonna show that real quick here, Jesse, so everyone can see that. And
that sounds great. If you can't see, I got put on daddy duty.
Hi there. I saw you got thrown into daddy duty. Has nothing to do with the size in the fight. Some of the smallest species I have had online fought like whatever that is.
Like Genghis Khan. I agree. You know, there's some bluegill I've gotten on the end of my line. I thought it was a 2 to 3 pound bass.
Yeah.
They came in and they dogged me.
Yeah, I actually have I have the fishing video queued up. Actually, you caught a big bass earlier on in that pond there at the ball fields, but it was a surprise fish that I wanted to capture.
The surprise crappie.
That was no slouch of you thought it was a bass too.
Oh yeah.
So let me cue this up, guys. Check this out. Share this out. Share the audio. You guys will have to let me know. Make sure that my audio isn't echoing again. Let me get. Oh, I'm all the way to the end here.
Just give you a heads up, if I turn my camera off, it's because I got kids running around in underwear.
Thanks, Judith and Dan, for sharing that out. There it is, August 28th, 7 to 1. That is Central Time. Let me get over here, and I know I'm going to have to stop this because if not, it's going to try and play on me again.
Yep. So how'd you like Amanda's guest appearance in that one?
I did. I saw that, and I chuckle every time I see it.
Well, so you know what inspired that? JV was live last night, and I was asking for some pictures so I can finish this trailer. I said, you know what? I got some pictures in mind that I want to get, so I'll just go through your videos and screenshot them. Well, Amanda's like, do it, embarrass him. I'm like, oh, this is going to backfire on Amanda now.
Right. Absolutely. So another thing I wanted to comment on earlier, I read it in your about page, kind of your little saying or your thing that you like to say, it's sun's out, lines out. And I like that.
Sun's out, cool. Lines out, keep fishing whatever it takes.
Keep fishing whatever it takes. So we talked about your personal best. What's your favorite bait? Because I noticed there's a lure that you use in a lot of your videos.
Well, your downright go-to is going to be a weightless Senko, whether it's wacky rigged or Texas rigged. Okay. That's the old trusty. If nothing's going to pick up, chances are you're going to pick up something on that, whether it's big or small.
Gotcha. So weightless Senko.
Typically, I'll start out running, like the paddle tail swim baits, square bills, top water, and if none of that's touching anything, I'll throw the weightless Senko.
Gotcha. Just jealous of his pink hair.
My hair is better. I can see them two bickering now. When she finally comes over to the United States, I can just see the videos coming out now.
Oh yeah. I do. I will have to say her hair definitely is a little bit better.
Oh, I agree. It's better well taken care of.
Right. Yeah. So the Senko. Now how do you hook that up? Anyway, you can hook that up as a wacky rig. You just hook it in the center.
Yep. Get you an O-ring and put it around it. That way it stays on your hook. You don't lose so many baits.
Okay.
And then Texas rig is, you feed it around and hook it through, and it's weedless then. And
then it's weedless. Nice. So see, I gotta get up on all this stuff, and I've been watching you guys, and you guys make it look so easy. And then I go out there. The other night, I bet you I cast 100 times, and I had that one hit.
Well, see, that's the part that I kind of love about live fishing, is because it's real. These edited videos, there's no telling how long in between catches it actually was. Sometimes it's 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah,
not long. So the live videos put you to a test, especially when I get out there bass fishing. Oh man, you're talking about if I don't start catching quick, it's kind of embarrassing to be honest.
I hear you. That's why I always when I go out on the water, it's like, okay, so whether I'm gonna be doing like a drift fishing, trying to pick up maybe some cats or some some walleye or something like that, or I'm gonna go into a bay and maybe try to hit up some panfish. I call them panfish. Your bluegills and crappie and perch, stuff like that. Or whether we're gonna go over and in some of those bays, there's some good bass fish in there too.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of places I'm hoping to go in the future. I'm wanting to go real bad, especially after smallmouth. I've never caught smallmouth. That's probably the biggest bucket list fish on my list right now. So for that, I got to go up north.
See, me, that's what I like. I've caught in a couple smallmouth. I've caught in a couple largemouth, but the smallmouth, that's I don't know what it is about them. I like them. I like the looks of the fish, and it just seems like to me, they fought so much harder than I guess.
See, that's what I've heard is pound for pound, man. They're so much harder fighting than largemouth. Which
Right.
if you get hook into a spotted bass, they're the same way, pound for pound. You can have a 1.5 pound spotted bass feel like a 4 or 5 pound largemouth.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, as far as the fight goes.
So Amanda wants to catch a pike. I know
Me
you come over to the States, you're up around that area.
Me too. I'm in that boat too. I told Amanda I've got to get her on some gar one day.
Yeah.
I love gar fishing.
That's something that, we don't have. I don't believe we have gar around my area, but that'd probably be something that we'd have to come south for, I'd imagine.
We'll see.
Yeah. So Gio did catch a smallie the other day. He sent me a picture.
Awesome. See, in my very first fishing live stream, I actually took Tim, the guy I taught how to use the bait caster,
Yes.
out to Archibald Spillway. The second cast, this guy pulls in about a 2.5, 3 foot gar, which that's a small gar, but still, for him to never done any fishing other than maybe like a little bluegill, most anglers that aren't experienced won't grab it and hold it. Oh, he grabbed it and took. That boy made me proud. Let's put it that way.
Right. JV says the old pike will pull Amanda in.
Probably.
I bet you'd be over here tomorrow if you could be.
Yeah. I know me and her were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Tennessee River has what part of the Tennessee River, Judith and Dan? Because I'm assuming that's East Tennessee. Because I'm actually just south of Memphis.
Okay, so you are in Tennessee.
Well, I'm in North Mississippi, but I work in Memphis. Put it that way. I'm close enough.
Okay, so you're close enough. You're like me. I'm Pennsylvania, but I'm so close. I actually work in Ohio.
Well, see, people ask me where I live, and I just tell them Memphis. You know, because it's the biggest major metropolitan. See, Pickwick's about an hour and a half. From my understanding, you have to have a boat to get to them. So, and that's something I don't have in my arsenal yet.
Yeah, we have northern pike. We have the pike in Pomatumin, which is right over the. Well, I live on East Lake Road. There's a little allotment and then the lake. So I'm just like a hop, skip, and a jump from the lake.
Right.
And then we have another lake, probably about, I'm going to say 10, 12 miles away. It's Conneaut Lake. Hey, Greg, do we have any gar anywhere? What's the closest place we'd go for gar? Below the dam at Pickwick.
I'll have to check that out. I have to figure out where the dam actually is. It's been a long time since I've been to Pickwick. Actually, I don't think I've ever fished Pickwick. No, I'll pass by it, but I don't think I've ever fished it.
Yeah. Anti said that his uncle had a rod right off the stern of the boat, straight under the water in about 3 seconds. No chance. Ooh. I won't forget the time my cousin, we were trout fishing, and it's called the Little Shenango, and of course there's stocked trout, but there's all kinds of other fish in there, and he has his fishing rod in a Y stick, and it's sitting out there, and we're like, I wouldn't leave it just sit there. If you catch a big carp or something like that, it's going to be gone just because it's, we're fishing for trout. And it wasn't, I bet you, a couple minutes later, and his rod, it just one bounce, and then it was in the water. And he went and dove in that water, and he was trying to find his fishing rod. Didn't find it. And what was so amazing was there's a gentleman there, and he got these big rooster tails out. And he actually was out there, and he was bringing them rooster tails down through the area that his pool went out into. He caught that rod by the bell of the reel. And he brought it in, and my
buddy got lucky.
my cousin ended up fighting, and it was like a 20-some inch cart.
Oh, wow. Well, see, rooster tail's another one of my go-tos.
Okay,
if I don't care about what species it is.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. I went down to, not down, it's actually up from here, up to Branson back in May. And we went trout fishing on the Taneycomo for the first time. I've never been trout fishing before then. And you talking about a blast. Running 2-pound tests, pulling in 3 to 4 pound trout. It's kind of a workout on that one.
Good night, Al. Yeah, so I actually have that. I actually have it written down right there.
Taneycomo.
your rooster tails.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I've seen you catch bass on the rooster tail. I've seen you catch bluegill on the rooster tail.
Catfish.
Catfish. And you know, it's kind of funny because, well, not funny, but funny to me because my rooster tails, they're all in my trout bag.
Yeah, that's the odd part, isn't it?
I've never even thought about a rooster tail on like just trying to do some pan fishing, even.
Oh, absolutely.
But I mean, why wouldn't they, right?
Well, that video you were talking about earlier, the surprise catch, all those fish were on rooster tail.
Yeah, that's one of the very ones that well, I've seen a couple of your other pond when you're putting catching pond fish out of one pond to put into your pond.
That's Mr. Paul's pond. It's
do that.
A friend that I've known since I was probably 18 and I'm 34, so quite a while. And I'm the only one up until recently who had permission to fish that pond. So, unless I was hitting it, nobody else was.
Mm-hmm. Got Raymond in the house. Raymond Williams in here. The field guide's in here. We still got Dark 30 in here. He's the big he's a big muskellunge fisher.
Yeah.
Old Kyle likes catching his muskie.
Well, see, what's cool about rooster tails too is, and they don't sell them around me, but when I went to Branson, they sell rooster tails with a single hook instead of the treble hook. So I grabbed a couple of those for my kid because I don't want him using treble hooks yet.
Right.
And take them out.
I don't think I've ever seen them with a single hook. That'd be pretty cool. So they put trout in Lake Lamar.
Well, see, Judith and Dan are clearly very close to me. I'm gonna have to check that out. Now, does Mississippi have a trout stamp? I don't think they do. At least not that I've ever seen.
I know Pennsylvania we do, and they raised it this year, and I think I only got out a couple of times. Can you excuse me for a minute? I got a phone call coming in. I got to take.
Well, that works for me.
You keep them busy.
Welcome to the Jesse Lopez Outdoors Show. Hopefully this fall is different. I need to get a big one. What, muskie? Is that what you're talking about? Let's see here. Let's go through here. See if there's any chat that I missed. I don't think there is, really. We've been covering it pretty well. No, it's $3 and you get 3 trout, like a paid pond. Okay. I got you. See, now, Judith and Dan, I know I have to get my trout stamp for Tennessee because I recently learned that they actually stock some of the ponds with trout in Carterville, Memphis, Bartlett, and Cordova, which is all within 20-minute drive of me, 20 to 40-minute drive. So,
hey, Jesse, I'm really sorry. My wife just called me. She was on her way home. She just was in an accident, hit a deer, and she's pretty shooken up.
Well, I hope she's all right.
I'm gonna have to cut this out, but we'll talk again maybe next week.
Sounds great.
All right, guys in the chat, I really appreciate it. Please share Jesse Lopez out, guys. Get over there and check his channel out. I really appreciate it. Sorry I got to run. Thank you, guys.
All right, be careful.